Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Classic Arcade Repairs. I just put onto the bench a punch-out board, and this punch-out board has battery damage, lots of it. Pretty ugly, quite ugly. Green everywhere. Green. And I've got it actually plugged in and turned on, and this is what I get. Not surprisingly, the CPU board is not working. Shenandoah River, life is moving. Okay, no change. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this board off the stack. And this board has to be addressed. This battery leakage damage has to be addressed. So, I mean, these chips are green. Lots of stuff is green. Yikes. Okay. Yep, it's in bad shape. The battery holder is off. That's good. It looks like it came off about 30 years too late. Okay, well, we'll get to work on this. A lot of the stuff is going to have to be, a lot of these sockets might be okay. I don't know. I'll have to look at them case by case. Might be better off just replacing these. We'll figure it out. First things first, I'm going to go ahead and just pop this board right off the stack. Good thing is there's no damage down here. It's all up here. So I know we can save this. All of this junk is going to have to be replaced. Everything that's green crusted I'm going to replace. So we'll see. We'll get there. All right, let's go ahead and pop this off of here. Just taking this top board off, I just noticed that this is missing the RPA023 whatever music processor. So, ain't gonna have no music without that. I might have one kicking around that I can sell to this, but that's not a cheap fix. Those things are, I mean, they're as high as $100. So we'll see. We'll have to see if we can work out a deal there. I think I might have an extra one around, so we'll see. Yeah, I just now noticed that. So, all right. Hey, Boo. What are you doing? Hey, Boo. Hi. Chilling. Near her front door. the baseball game. Right, Boo? What is it? I know. Yep. Alright, watch out. Watch out. Okay. Glasses. I just got done stripping this board. Gross. Yeah, let me take a good shot of it this way, because it is totally possible that some of this silk screen is going to get lost. So I want to document this silk screen for my own purposes of putting this back together. All of these resistors and everything just crumbled when I took them out. I left the resistor packs in because they really didn't look that bad, but we'll see. And yeah, dip switches. These three caps right here where it says 683, those are actually 0.1s. I don't know what 683 is all about. Yep. Well, that's it. This thing, I stripped this apart. We're going to do some cleaning up and neutralizing with some acid. And yeah. Clean this up. Alright. Okay, and after doing some scrubbing and cleaning and scrubbing and cleaning, I need to get that a little bit better. So I'll run back over that really good. But yeah, I got about all of that green junk removed. There might be a little speck like right there, around there a little bit, but I soaked this good and toothbrushed it with vinegar and really did a number on it. The backside still looks really good as far as soldering, so soldering will not be a problem. I forgot to clear out the holes for the dip switches, which I'll do that. I just forgot. Yeah, really not as bad as it looked. I mean, it was bad, don't get me wrong, but cleaned up pretty good. So next up, I'll get busy on repopulating this and studying my video and, you know, pulling just see where stuff goes. See if there's in the manual, see if there's a, you know, a board layout with parts layout. If not, I've got it documented pretty good about what goes where. So that'll be next, is starting to fill this thing out. All right, and the repopulation is complete. The only thing I reused was these two guys, the 153 capacitors and these two capacitors. Those guys are original. I soaked them in vinegar and then put them back on the board. So, yeah. I don't have this 2SC2235. I have bought some of those. I couldn't even find that on the schematic. I don't even know what it does. But I got it coming. Yeah. Repopulated. I think it looks really pretty good. Check out the back of it. Nice and clean. There's that one transistor that's missing. Yeah, so I'm going to verify that the ROMs are good. I'm just going to pull my reader out and verify these guys. Save me some time. Just go ahead and do that, and we'll be ready to hook back up and fire up. I think this thing will. I'm thinking this thing will probably run without this thing in it, this transistor in it. I don't know. I can't find it on the schematic. I don't know what it does. So, who knows? But we're going to hook it up and fire it up without the thing, because I got to wait for it. So, see what happens. Okay, and right now I am just going through the ROMs, and the video ROMs are completely wrong as for what MAME is. So there's some funniness going on with what these files actually are, as far as maybe the bipolar color proms are backwards and these are backwards to compensate for that. Just punch out is weird with the combinations of stuff that they have. So this board set comes out to work, and I'm going to dump all of these ROMs and save them and label them as whatever, you know. I'll have to go through it, but this one was bad. This is on the CPU board, 8L. Did not verify, so I erased it and I just finished burning it. So now all of the CPU board ROMs are good, but the video ROMs, I'm going to just stop with them, and if the game works fine when I'm done, then I'm going to dump these and save them as an alternate set. You know, it's just how they're addressed, and where the data is in the chip is different. It's, you know, so Yeah, I need to log these because I was looking through my files and I don't have alternate ROMs for this, so I will after this. Alright. Okay, actually, I am right now verifying all of the opponent ROMs, and they are looking to be fine. This one just verified okay with the regular MAME files. So I think that these are just bad. And it was reported that when this was working, the Challenger, the green grid guy, was completely jacked up. It would flake out and be jacked up. So that would explain these being bad. So I am going to just erase these and reprogram the proper files into these guys. And I'm going to continue to verify these and all that good stuff. So, and I'll verify the back PCB EPROMs as well. But I'm just going to continue on what I'm doing. This one just verified okay, and we'll come back and have this thing all put together and ready to fire up. Okay, interestingly enough, the back PCB ROMs do not verify, but these do to MAME. So these should match this. Because this is all a set, because these are the 353s, which is what MAME, I believe MAME is made on. So these are just bad. All of these 2564s are bad. So I'm going to erase all of them. But I'm going to dump what's in them first, and then I'm going to erase them. I've already got the Challenger Sprite ROMs erasing, so I'm going to dump the back PCB ROMs, and then I'm going to erase those too, and we'll program those with the files that are supposed to be on there along with this other set. So I'm going to get to that. Okay, I've got it all back together. And I've been doing fluke tests. I ended up replacing this socket right here underneath this voice processor, I believe it is, because it had a little green fuzzy on it, so I replaced it. And I replaced this socket so that I could put the fluke on this. And even after verifying all of these ROMs in my reader, this one is no good. It's given me the same wrong code every time. It's supposed to be 5504, and it's given me BB0E, and it's given me that like 5 times, and I actually swapped one of the ROMs and put it in that location, and it's not the location or socket or anything like that. It's the chip. So I'm gonna have to reburn that chip. It gives me the same thing every time, so I don't think it's a bad chip, so to speak. I don't know what the deal is with it. I'm going to just erase it and reprogram it. So, and I've done all of my other RAM checks and everything are good. The RAM checks are good and everything. These guys, the RAM on this board and the RAM on this board, all checks out. So I'll go ahead and redo this guy right here, 8L, and we'll be back. Alrighty, well, I discovered I had a broke trace on this guy I had to fix. It was the enable, basically. Had to jump the enable from pin 1 to 19. This right here had a corroded out, one of these was corroded out, so I had to cut it back to fresh. And I actually had to replace this wire down to the other side because it was had the green crap going down through it, so I cut it back to where it was gone, put a new connector on it, so that's good now. I've got it on right now, and you can see it's pretty messed up, but I believe the CPU board is working, minus the sound isn't quite right. So with the sound not being quite right, I can check the all my connections on this guy, the LM324. Make sure that all of my connections are. I don't know exactly what this is. Remember, this guy's missing. I have bought those. I don't know what that even does. It might be in the sound. Who knows? But I can't find that on the schematic. It's weird. Yeah, so we got some video, and you know what? This could totally be those ROMs. I mean, it doesn't explain. No, there's goofiness, big time. Yeah. In the background. Remember the background. See how the colors are wrong and all of the data is messed up on, and that's the splash screen right there. That's supposed to be the splash screen. So we got some definite problems with this. I think we're going to, I'm not going to worry about the, it's running, it's actually running. The program, the game is running. I did reprogram this guy, and that fixed that. I had the fluke on it and I verified it after I reburned it, so that's all good to go. And yeah, I kind of think that this is, remember I did save those ROM files. For some reason, I believe the data is inverse or something in those back PCB ROMs. So I'm probably going to have to erase those and reburn those again, is what I believe I'm going to have to do. So, oh goodness gracious. Yeah. Alright, yeah, I'm going to have to probably do that. So I'm going to work on the video. Let's get the video good to go, and then we can mess with the sound. Because this video is a little bit messed up. So, yeah, a little bit messed up. That's the splash screen. Okay. Alright, I'm going to flip this over and probably open it up so that I can just get to this big video board. Let's get that big video board situated first, and then we'll work on the backboard. Alright. Alright, got this guy opened up, and I've found one bad chip so far. This is a bunch of control signals coming off of this guy right here. Everything looks good coming off of this 138, but one of these guys is completely dead. I believe it's 4D. It's either 4D or 4E. So, yeah, 4E. Let's check 4E. I think it's 4E. It's this one right here, yeah, 4E. So if we take the probe and we go on 4E and just do all of the input, that's an input, and it's output. Floating. Input, output. In and out. In and out. And next one, in, out. See, all of the outs are floating. That's an in, and it's out. So that is 6 control signals right there. And that's what those are. They're enable signals, basically clocking signals for latches and stuff like that. coming off of this guy. So replacing that is going to drastically change things on this board. So yeah, I'm going to put a red dot on that guy, and then I'm going to just kind of continue to probe around and see what I can see, if I see anything obvious. Like there's some more of those brand of 04s on this board I want to look at. You know, there's two right over here. There's this guy. There's one way up here. So I'm going to take a look at all of them. A lot of times they come in bunches when they're bad. So, alright. Okay, I have replaced that bad guy, the 04. And the good news is the top monitor, I think, is good. The problem with the top monitor, I believe, is the EEPROMs. I have to reburn them the way they were. And I did save the files, so it's all good. I'll just have to re-erase the 2564s and reburn them with the original files that were in them. I believe is all that's the deal. So yeah, those are not in MAME, the files that this combination of ROMs and whatever is just not in MAME for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what the difference is with this hardware. Although this is a 02. MAME must be 01. That's in the 01 revision of the hardware and software must be what's in MAME. And the splash screen is back on the top screen. Top screen is good to go. The bottom screen is still terrible. So yeah, that's looking good. So I will go ahead one thing at a time. I'm going to pull these EEPROMs out of this board. I'm going to re-erase them and reburn them the way they were. And I'll probably end up having to do that with these guys too. So, yeah. Alright. I'll get to it. These ones all verified to what was in MAME, so I don't have to mess with these. But these ones and the backboard didn't. So, yeah. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. I'm going to revert these ROMs, those guys right there, to what they originally were. And that should take care of this, I think. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, I have these guys out, and they are way up there in the erasing station, being erased underneath that UV eraser. And without the EEPROMs, you see the blank canvas. You can look at it as kind of like this. And that is created on that middle PCB, so that's good. It's just not it's not making it to the bottom monitor screen, which is weird because that's circuitry, I believe, that is on this board. But one thing at a time. Like I was saying, this is like the blank canvas, and your EEPROMs contain the art that is painted on this canvas. You can look at it that way. You know, the hardware will create the canvas, and the software is the art contained in the software that is painted onto the canvas. Yeah. So like in this case, if your canvas looks good but your art is completely jacked up, it's probably your EEPROMs. So we're going to reburn those with the original files, and then we'll see what that looks like, and then we'll be back. And I went ahead and I removed the Challenger Sprite EEPROMs, and lo and behold, there's Glass Joe looking perfect. And replacing that 04 did all of this, restored all of this. And there's the splash screen. Glass Joe was not visible when that, yeah, it's just all, that's the screen that has the high score table. Yeah, so yeah, when I replaced this, it brought Glass Joe back into the picture because I noticed I could see him behind the garbage. So I took those out. I took the sticker off of the window and put them up with the others in the erasing station. And I will reburn the original files that were in there to begin with. Okay, so we are getting close to being done here. Really. Okay. I'll be back. So I have reprogrammed these guys, and curiously enough, these 6 ROMs, these are all of the Challenger ROMs, and 4A and 4B, all the ones that I dumped originally from the set, all verified to Super Punch-Out, or the Italian bootleg version of Punch-Out. And then these two up here, 4D and 4C, are not in MAME. So I'm curious to put this back together and hook it up and see what happens, because, you know, these 6 ROMs right here are Super Punch-Out ROMs. But you can see they are labeled Punch-Out. CHP1 is Punch-Out. But they are Super Punch-Out files. So maybe it's a really late run of Punch-Out and they switched it over to work with, I really don't know. Something to do with Super Punch-Out hardware or something, I don't know what the difference is. So, strange. But we'll go ahead and put this thing back together and see what we get. Okay, I have not put the Sprite ROMs in just yet. I do have my reburned back PCB ROMs in, and as you can see, we're looking great on the bottom monitor, minus the Challenger, of course, the green guy. I don't have those ROMs in the board. And we'll let this play through and just check everything out. But with actual Super Punch-Out ROMs on the back PCB, and the two 4C and 4D are not in MAME. This is the bottom monitor. We'll let it go through, and so far it just looks perfect. Here's the high score table. Yeah, and then the next will be this screen. Glass Joe. Okay, and we're back to this. So let's check out the top monitor. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Oh, look at that. Looking good. Looking real good. this go through and check everything out. Make sure all of the graphics on it are correct. Splash screen looks great. Looks great. Perfect. No glitching, no nonsense. Yeah. And we're back to this. So that is very curious. So we have two ROMs on here that are not in MAME. So this is another ROM set, maybe punch out set 2. You know, it should be called punch out set 2. So I will package this ROM set up and send it to the MAME development team, and as ROM set 2, punch out set 2. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and shut this off, put the Challenger ROMs in and see what that gives us. And keep in mind, these are super punch out ROMs. They came up to super punch out. All of these, the two that are in MAME on this board too, and then two that are not even in MAME. So it's very strange. So I'll go ahead and pop those in. Okay, I went ahead and popped these four guys in the video board, and there's our green Challenger. Looking perfect. Glitch free so far. We'll let it play through, just kind of look at it. Yeah, looking good. Yeah, it's looking good. So I'd say our video issues are solved. Now we do have sound problems. There's still sound issues that we're going to have to figure out. But now that this is all squared away, we can concentrate on that. Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. There's no glitching at all. Okay, cool. So we'll go ahead, close this up and flip it over, get to the CPU board with the sound and everything, and work on that next. All right. And we'll turn it on. Yeah, I did find a, what are they, RP2A03 processor for music. So the music seems to be working decent, but the voice is not. So I will switch channels over to the voice channel and go ahead and there we go. Jeez. And it's counting down. It's not doing much on the voice channel. That's this business up here, so yeah, that was supposed to be, come on, come on. And it was chirp, chirp. I'll eventually get knocked down. And the minute I start talking, it says something.
One, two, three.
It's trying.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. Knockout.
I think this RAM is bad, because I saw that flashing, and last repair I did on a punch out I saw the same thing. I think it was due to this. I'll have to go back and look, but I believe it was this RAM was causing an issue. Possibly. I'll have to go back and look because I saw that same thing. So okay, yeah, we got some looking into. And I'm going to dig these out of the trash, because this is marked on the board 683, which is a 68,000 picofarad capacitor, but I could have swore that there were 0.1 capacitors in that spot. I'm going to just make sure. I'm going to dig them out of the garbage and verify that and make sure. So yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to go back and review one of my videos and see if it was definitely, because I saw that flashing, that same thing at the end of the game, and it was this RAM, I believe. So I'll check that back out. Yeah, I shorted something. I am trying to... Let's start again. We're doing the countdown. All fixed. There were two bad traces. One of them you can see I fixed top side. Right there. It was just a bad through hole. You know, you deal with that sometimes with these battery damaged, you know, boards, as through holes just rot out. And one of the data lines from this guy over to here was bad. So I put a jumper wire on that. And then there was another jumper on the back of this. That was earlier though. That was not related. And this guy right here, I found out this is on the schematic, and it's for the coin counter. Yeah, so I don't know. All right, but yeah, this one's good to go now. I mean, we can do our coin up and our countdown and go this.
Ladies and gentlemen, class go. Wait.
All right. It's good to go. What I am doing is there are a handful of resistors in here that are not the correct value. Like this guy right here, this 10K, you can see by the color band that's not 10K. That's actually 12K. The guy right next to it is supposed to be 75K, and that is 82K. And every 110K I've got 100K in. Every 10K resistor I've got 12K in. And then there's a couple 43K resistors. I've got 47K resistors in. I have since ordered all of those parts, and I am going to replace those with the proper value resistor. So that's it.
Come on, stand up and fight.
Cool. Good to go. Alright, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Like I said, I'm going to hold on to this until I get those parts. Shouldn't take but a few days. But I'm going to do a quick swap on those resistor values and make sure that they're all the exact value that they're supposed to be. And it's going to do it for this one. The only thing that I did reuse was these 153, which I bought some of these 153s. It's 15,000 picofarad capacitors, or 0.015 microfarad. These two green guys, and then these are 330, but I reused those two, those weird looking things. Those are the only two that I reused for capacitors. And I pulled these out. Remember, I wanted to look at these. These are 0.01s, and I dug them out of the garbage. 0.01, 104. So those are correct. But yep, there's a handful of resistors that I need to replace with the proper values. And that's going to do it. And I will do that. So remember, this thing, one of the monitors had no sync, and it was because the very end over here was green and there was no connection, so I had to cut that back and redo that. And I actually put a new wire down into there, spliced in a new wire, because it was it was green the whole way up almost. I had to reprogram one ROM, I believe, on there. Replaced these two 40-pin sockets. Replaced this socket, of course. All of this is rebuilt. All of that has been rebuilt. And there was a bad LS04 on the video board. I replaced the 83s. I replaced the LS283s that were in the board with the proper F283s. I reprogrammed the Challenger ROMs and the back PCB ROMs, although I didn't have to. They were right to begin with. But these ones, I believe, I don't know. They were just I think it must have been flaky sockets or something, but I don't. This was missing. This chip right here was not here. So I just happened to have one of these around. But yeah, so it's going to do it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next Classic Arcade Repair. This one was a pretty big undertaking. A lot of rebuilding up here. So but it came out pretty good, so alright. See you on the next. Peace out, guys.